Welcome to the Digital Health Pulse. I'm Trevor Yasinow. Let's jump into today's conversation. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Digital Health Pulse video series with myself, Trevor Yasinow. I am joined today by Chris Chan, professional speaker, consultant, and the reason why we're here, the Chief Value Officer at FinHealth. Welcome, Chris.
Great. It's awesome to be here, Trevor. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, Chris, my first question for you is, can you tell me more about FinHealth?
Yeah, so we're in the payment integrity space addressing healthcare fraud, waste, and abuse. And I like to describe it similar to what your credit card does to monitor personal spending in real time for errors, duplicates, things that are suspicious or potentially fraudulent. We do that for an employer's medical and pharmacy spend as close to real time as possible.
Awesome. So what makes FinHealth more unique in the space compared to even others in the industry?
Yeah, so certainly this is a software powered services company, and we are mining through millions of lines of claim data and pricing information to find the needles in the haystack. And I know the term AI is thrown out a lot today as a buzzword. We consider ourselves augmented intelligence. So we are finding all the needles in the haystack, floating those to the surface, doing it very quickly within a matter of minutes to hours. So it's a very fast turnaround time. And then we have humans that will validate and prioritize to make sure that these are things that we want to investigate and pursue alongside with our clients. So it's the scalability and the speed to action that's important so that we can intervene and get things corrected closer to when billing occurs. Traditional services just take too long, and that slows down the process and inhibits the ability to actually take action. So that's one of the ways that we're differentiated.
It's awesome. So who are your primary customers and how do they benefit from the solution?
Yeah, so we only work with self-funded employers as our customers, and they range in size from less than 500 members to several hundred thousand. So we're fully scalable up and down as long as they're self-funded and tired of increasing healthcare costs and want to do something about it, then they're certainly the perfect candidate to work with us. We're monitoring that claims feed in real time and doing a combination of prepayment and post-payment analysis and intervention. Prepayment is huge because that is doing the analysis before any funds have been released. And that's when employers have leverage still to be able to challenge and help negotiate. And if the providers haven't been reimbursed yet, the providers are going to be much more willing to have that conversation and talk about what a fair and reasonable price is. And that's the expectation that we see employers today as planned fiduciaries. They're more willing to take the reins in their own hands, to have a little bit more control, and we're by their side, arming them with the facts and figures and recalculating prices so that we can actually ask thoughtful questions instead of automatically just paying these bills.
It's amazing. So I do have to ask, but what is one exciting trend you're seeing in digital health right now? I know you've been in the space for a while, so you typically do have your pulse on the market.
Yeah. I actually think the last decade has been tremendously exciting, certainly an onslaught of point solutions that have addressed every single type of segment and condition and need imaginable. I think we are seeing the market weed out solutions and cut through a lot of that noise. And if you're a service provider, you need to be able to have proof, case studies, multi-year examples, references, performance guarantees, putting fees at risk, being able to charge per case or per engage. The market has just gotten a lot smarter in terms of the requirements for what is needed to play and have a seat at the table. And the byproduct of that is those companies and solutions that have not been able to deliver are starting to erode away and fall back, and you get real winners making a difference float to the surface. And that's the type of clarity I think we've needed to overcome some of the fatigue that's existed in the market the last several years.
It's amazing. So what does the next year look like for FinHealth? Any big goals or milestones on the horizon? I'd love to learn more.
Yeah, we're doing a tremendous amount of pilots and onboarding and contracting and continuing to spread the word. Certainly, it's a very untapped market in the payment integrity space, but we see carrier and TPA and PBM attitudes changing with the understanding that this is becoming an expectation from their self-funded customer base. We see a growing number of brokers and consultants getting on board because this aligns so well with the actuarial work and rate setting and projections and stop loss and clinical audits. It's very complementary to have ongoing financial analysis alongside. And so we're standing up partnerships in that space and just continuing to shift the message and the leverage within the market to empower employers to take more action here. So very exciting times.
Well, Chris, it was great to learn more about what FinHealth is doing in the digital health space today. I'm looking forward to seeing all the exciting things that the company will be doing. I'm really excited to see how you guys build and grow. So thank you so much again for joining me today on the Digital Health Pulse.
Thanks very much for having me.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Digital Health Pulse. A huge thank you to my guest today. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to like, repost, share, and follow for more chats with the top innovators and leaders in digital health. Have a company you'd love to see featured? Drop a comment or reach out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.